when we follow the deep inspiration inside us. And that's a big change. We are living now in very, very extraordinary times. When I was almost bankrupt because I had no customers, it was before all those guys coming from the TV show. What happens when we increase the vibration inside personality? We move from one level to another level. So money is not really, I wouldn't say it's not important, because it is important, but basically earning money, well, if you have what you need, who need more than what you need? Whatever you do, whatever you experience with, I love you.
Satnam, everybody, and welcome back to the Human Truth Channel. My name is Adi, and today we have a very, very, very special episode, and we're tuning in live from Ashram in Puerto Escondido in Oaxaca, Mexico. Today, I'm honored to be joined with Grandmaster Jack Makani. Jack sir is a Master NLP trainer. He's a Master hypnotherapist. He's a Master Shaman, and honestly, the list could go on, sir. You are a very, very talented man, and you have such amazing knowledge of the unseen world. It is truly an honor and a privilege to not have only been attending your training seminars and to have been trained by you, but to also get the chance to sit with you and share your story with my audience. Thank you so much for coming, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, sir, let's first start by understanding a little bit about your story, right? For the listeners who may not know, could you share a little bit about who you are and a little bit about your journey and your past?
Yeah, what specifically would you like to hear about?
So
I was born in 1943. That's almost a century ago. And grew up in a small village in Denmark, and turned out to be a very, very scared child, afraid of everything. And because of that, I was attracted to join the army, the Danish Army.
to join the Danish Army.
Yeah, that gave me self-confidence. And not so much to say, when I was 17 and half a year, I joined the army. And stayed for 29 years in the army. And at that time, I was married. So my first wife, I had 2 kids, 2 boys. I was living in a house like everybody else, and have a car and so on. And very ordinary. Very, very ordinary. And when I left the army, it was a little peculiar. That could be the story to know about. My wife, my first wife, the mother of the boys, came to me and said that we are going to divorce. She had started a Gestalt therapy education, and of course that has changed something inside her, and so on. We were going to divorce.
You said Gestalt therapy?
Gestalt therapy.
What's that?
Well, it's a kind of psychotherapy. There are 18 different kinds of psychotherapy.
Oh, wow.
18 or 19 European branches of psychotherapy. Gestalt is one of them.
So how does that compare to what our viewers may typically know as therapy, which is going to a therapist and sharing about their problem?
I don't know much about Gestalt therapy. It's not my business. So honestly, I cannot tell you a lot about Gestalt therapy. But it is, instead of starting with a symptom, like we do in NLP, that is what I know about. They start with the feeling in the body. That is what they start with every time in Gestalt therapy. Yeah. So I'm no specialist in Gestalt therapy. I mean, I'm an NLP person
Yes.
and Shaman.
Yes. So you said that with your first wife, she started Gestalt therapy, and then one day came the surprise of a divorce.
Yeah.
That must not have been easy.
Well, it kicked the legs away under me. I didn't really know what to do. But I did know that marrying someone soon after a divorce is really a bad news. It cannot be recommended. What really means something is that you change whatever you need to change inside to become a person who are not repeating the failure from the past.
Right.
So I went into psychotherapy. I took a training. I took different seminars and continue to work in the military headquarters with 50% power and 50% power in my training.
Mhm.
And when I came through, it was about time to start my new life, leaving the army, starting a new life. So basically, I lost my first wife, and I lost my job, and it was time, to start something new. And let me add, that is very, very normal. That when we really change our life, when we follow the deep inspiration inside us, we very often change partner and we change job. And that's a big change. That is really one of the big changes. Is it dangerous? No. You go into a new phase in your life. It's not really pleasant. It's unsecure, but life may be unsecure. You can but die from it. Really. So that was my history.
Wow. And I know you shared with us during the training that it was not easy when you were starting this new life. You even had a very daunting letter from your bank manager once.
No, I had this idea that the world was ready for my special version of teaching management because I've been major in the army. They were not. The world was in no way ready for my special management teaching. I was not really teaching one seminar in management. Whatever I did was teaching personal development. I found out over time that what I could do was therapy. I could do change work with other people. I could do therapy for people, and I could do coaching for people, and I was pretty good at that. So, and let me tell you a story. Another story. You know, when I have been more or less without clients, or just had a few clients for 3 months after I have broken with the army, my trainer, my teacher, went on national TV in Denmark a Friday night where 2 million people were watching. Well, yeah. And he was using this timeline way that I actually think that I'm a little of an expert in.
Yes, you are an expert at timeline, sir. Come on.
And he was guiding a crystal healer, a very well alternative person, and he took her back to a past life. And I could see at his face, I was watching I could see at his face, oh my God, now I need to explain about past life. So people saw that. And Monday morning, when everybody opened again, the institute opened, his institute opened, that he had a telephone storm. Wow. Yeah. everybody would like to try that. Most of the callers lived in Copenhagen, where my second wife and I was living. And very few lived in the province where my teacher was living. So I had scheduled all my days for the next 3 months.
Oh, wow. So all of a sudden you had so much clientele.
I had so much time just because of national TV presentation.
Amazing. Amazing.
That was my big luck. Or maybe it was not a lot. Who knew?
Who knows? So, sir, today, a lot of us students in college, I go to the University of Southern California.
I know.
It's one of the best institutions of education around the world. But there are so many students here at university who face a lot of issues with mental health. We've spoken a little bit about this. It's often because of the programming that happens to us from the time we are born till the time we get to our young 20s. But with my generation, I notice a slight difference. Many of us are questioning, the normal, ordinary way of doing things, which is like getting a good degree, a good job, etc. And we are finding our passions. But when we're trying to take the jump from what is our inner passion to making it a profession, it's very, very difficult. And you have had a first-hand experience to this. Could you give a message to some of our young listeners today as to how they can also navigate this path?
Yeah. Like this I can. Let me start by saying that we are living now in very, very extraordinary times.
In extraordinary times.
Very extraordinary. Something big is taking place on the planet. Probably you know, and your people know, that the solar flares are so active as they have never been before in our history, in our known history.
Yes.
And all that energy spread around the sun, spread throughout the sun, and a lot of it come here, and that works inside us. Never mind if you like it or not. Never mind if we're outside or inside. It works inside us. So there's no chance to avoid it. Even if you die, you probably still have a kind of influence of it. So it's very, very, very a special time we live inside, which means the future for your generation will be so much different from the future for previous generations. Some people even say that we are upgrading the DNA. Part of this process from the solar flares is upgrading our DNA. Imagine that 8 billion people have an upgrade of the DNA. Will that change something on the planet? Yes, it will. So the conditions will be very, very, very different. So it's no big deal that your generation finds that it may not really be so funny to do like we used to do, what the old timers did. We have values inside us. We are born with some values inside us. We learn them in childhood, and we have some of it from our mom and dad, and we have some spiritual values as well inside. So basically, follow the values. I did that when I was in the choice, stay in the army or leave the army. Let go of your wife, or let us see what will happen. I did that because it feels important. So whatever feels important deep inside, be loyal to your values, follow your values. Your values is connected to your spirit, from the heart to the spirit, and it means that, your spirit is a spirit, and in my opinion, the spirit has the overview of your life.
It has
The overview.
the overview.
It knows what will be good for you in some way, and you can say whisper in the ear, do that. It's not really whispering in the ear, it's more like intuition, or whatever we call it. So follow the impulse, well, in your heart,
Not
and
just
be
like
be loyal to that. Never mind what. I mean, um, we can earn billions of dollars and be unhappy,
yes.
and we can earn a few dollars and be happy. When I came to Nepal the first time, that is a very, very, very cool uh, country.
Yes.
They were smiling all the time. Maybe they were born smiling, I don't know. But those guys, they are very, very, very poor. They were having a smiling on their face all the time. It's so beautiful. And they are not even, Nepal is not even able to modernize the country. They have a lot of support from outside to do that. So money is not really, I wouldn't say it's not important, because it is important, but basically earning money, well, if you have what you need, who need more than what you need? That was a message from my own spirit to me um, years ago, when I was almost bankrupt um, because I had no customers. It was before all those uh, guys coming from the TV show with my t-shirt. So basically, I was almost bankrupt. I went out to the woods, sat down on a trunk, and said, I don't know what to do. And then I got a message. I remember clearly a kind of voice inside my head that was different from my normal voice spoke to me and said, from now on, you will always have what you need. From now on, you will always have what you need. Well, yeah, yeah. In the beginning, I didn't really react to it because it was worse inside. Then I started to think of the depths in that. So it became a belief inside. It became a belief inside my mind. And a belief is something that confirms itself. Start to attract into my light whoever I need to attract to have that belief confirmed. And that has been my life ever since. I always have what I need. Do I need more? Do you need more?
That's a beautiful point. I think there's so many things to unpack over there. But in the interest of time, let me ask you, sir. You went on next to develop the Akasha Empowerment.
Yeah, that was.
You also went on to find the International Coaching and Training Alliance, the Akasha Coaching Alliance, and a number of bodies which focused on one mission and vision, which was to bring peace in the world. Can you talk a little bit about that and help us understand what is Akasha?
Akasha is, it's a name I have given it. This a healing system. It's a healing system. It's a healing and an ascension system that increases vibration inside the personality. What happens when we increase the vibration inside personality? We move from one level to another level. Right. So basically, you could say one thing that can describe it. You move out of all the accidents. You move above the level for accidents to happen. So, in the current world, there's a lot of struggles going on. There's a lot of wars going on. There are actually, I think, 16 known violent, bigger or smaller wars going on right now.
Yep. Yep.
And if you increase your vibration enough, you will in some way not be part of that anymore, even if you still have a body.
Even if?
Even if you still have a body,
Oh, wow.
the body will be slightly different. It changes a little. So one way to live a happy life during all that struggle is to increase the vibration. Then you can, live like here in the beautiful ocean and feel you are living in some kind of paradise. Maybe you are living in paradise. During your life. So that is Akasha. It's a system of 30 spatial signs, and those signs are connected. So each of them are connected to what can we call it? An energy. And a very simple question answer could be connected to an energy, and that energy makes the difference. In some understanding, you could call them angels or ascended masters or whatever. They have many names, right? So it's depends on the culture you are inside, what you call it. But those guys interfere with your vibration, and you can use it for healing. You can use it to balance yourself. You can use it to assist other people. You can use it to do global work, meditation on peace in the world, if that is something that you burn for. Yeah. You can also use it to earn money.
To?
You can also use it to earning money.
To earn money.
Of course.
I think that's where most of the college students are going to
Oh,
Yes.
they are very preoccupied in that age. I was that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So basically, we can use it for the good, or we can use it from the heart, or we can use it from the ego.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's a choice. How do we want to live in the world? By the ego or from the heart?
So the ego and the heart is such an interesting point because it's safe to say much of the world today is living in ego. It's about materialism. Who has the Prada? Who has the Gucci? Who has a nice watch, the nice car? How do we as a collective one move from our ego to our hearts?
I think the sun will do it for us.
The sun will do it for us.
I think so.
Is this about the solar flares and upgrade of our DNA?
Yeah. Beautiful. It is. It's taking place. It's not you and me going to a higher dimension. It's a whole planet. It's a whole solar system that ascends right now. At least in my opinion. And how that is going to take place in details, I cannot explain you, because it has never happened before in the history of this planet. So honestly, we are experiencing something that we don't know anything about, which means that most people are denying it.
Right. That is very true.
Yeah.
And they're distracting themselves.
Well, instead of denying, we could also say, okay, let me get most possible out of it. Let me go into this process and see how can I get the most possible out of it. That can even be money, if you need them.
So I have a question which represents much of our modern audience.
1 minute.
Many people look at energy, they look at spirituality, and they call it voodoo. You also spoke about how, something spoke to you and energy being upgraded through our DNA. A lot of people don't believe in it because mainstream science and mainstream media does not give it attention. What is your message to those naysayers?
Experience. I mean, whenever we are young, it's time for experience most possible in life. And that can be drugs, it can be each other, the two different sexes, and now we have even Mr. Trump had forbidden the new kind to say it is. I know that LGBTQ plus. However, people are experiencing with that kind of thing, and that when we are young, when we are in university, that's the time for experience. It's a time for finding your real grown-up identity and create a life based on that. What kind of life? Well, follow your heart, follow your values, follow your intuition. And that's the best advice I can give you. It worked for me, and it will probably work for you too.
Wonderful. And you have an army of Akasha light workers around the world.
Sure.
Who it's worked for.
That's so.
For those who are interested to perhaps try this way of living and experience this, what is a way they can connect with you and also have this experience?
They can go to Akasha, Akasha, this is small line.
Dash.
Yeah. And coach.com.
AkashaCoach.com. We will link it in the description.
Yeah.
And they can find out more. Awesome.
They can find out more. Or they can go to the nearest Akasha person.
Any final words to a university with some of the brightest minds who are gearing towards creating a successful and bright future?
Whatever you do, whatever you experience with, I love you from the heart. So go ahead, get the most out of it, and find out who you are at the deepest level. That's my only thing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Thank you.